It's on!
Yeah,
nu
man.
är vi här. Yeah, man.
Eric is handling the camera work this time.
Ja, det gör jag.
For the first time.
Det kommer bli busigt. Det kommer bli busigt. Åh, kul.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it's fun. I got the power.
What's up, Lils?
Hoppas ni mår bra. Har ni raggat någon, vad heter det? Någon ny Patreon kanske? Det vore kul. Ragga gärna Patreons. Påminn om att det här är kul.
Patreon.com/teachmesweden.
Oh yeah.
You can, for as little as 10 crowns a month, you can get ad-free episodes. You can get videos like this if you're watching.
Bra videos som sköts av proffs.
But they're already patrons.
Ja, jo, men...
Tell somebody.
Så här, säg det här till någon. Det är det vi försöker säga. Herregud. Men det är läget då.
Great, man.
Let
me see.
This is the episode coming out next, right?
Okay.
Jag tror det. För
yes.
Så du har precis haft premiär på...
Yes, the Laugh House, man.
Yeah. Hur var det då?
The Laugh House is at our new location. So excited. Skanda Clara. And TMS LOL is your code to get a discount. So,
TMS LOL.
Teach Me Sweden.
Laugh out loud. Yeah,
is the code
snyggt.
Watch our shows for a discount. So come out. If you're in Stockholm, it's Hötorget. We're trying to make the best comedy club in Stockholm. And I think we might be there.
Fan vad nice. Jag kanske snor koden och använder också.
Yeah.
Till vår teater.
What? You don't pay for come to my...
Nej, men
come for free,
nej, men jag menar inte det. Nej, jag menar att vi snor koden och erbjuder våra patrons samma grej för...
Yes. TMS LOL is the code.
Det är så dumt att ha två olika koder.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's your discount for our stuff.
Yeah.
TMS LOL. And I'll always have that code for...
Funkar för närvarande inte på någon av våra shower, men jag lägger in den och så säger jag till.
It's already good on mine. And people have been coming out, so we appreciate you.
Cool. Kul att det var succé.
Yeah, man, I was nervous. We have like a 3-week like trial period.
Yeah.
And it was the week of påsklov.
Oh, just det. Men det måste de ju också veta om.
I told him that, as we got closer, the guy from Scandic.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still nervous, man, because I want him to see that I'm a serious person.
Mm.
And I think
he saw
it. Yeah, so it was cool, man.
Cool.
They had a goal they wanted to make, and they easily blew their goal out. So yeah, it looked good without even a completely full room.
Oh,
so yeah,
fan bra,
man. Yeah, man, come through. Vibe was nice. For us comedians on stage, been enough of light to see the audience, but dark enough so people don't mind laughing. So yeah, that's good.
Cool, fan vad kul.
Come through, man.
Jag kommer att titta någon gång. När inte jag spelar. Whenever that fucking is.
I know, right? Yeah, we're busy guys.
Yeah, we are. Men det är också kul.
What's been going on at your theater?
Vi har haft 3 shower nu i 3 dagar. Torsdag, vi kom hem från Aten på semester. Så vi åkte direkt till teatern, så hade vi Daniel Norberg som gäst. Och på fredagen så körde vi en engelska show med 2 gamla impro-kompisar. Så de körde en English duo och vi körde en English duo.
Okay.
Och sen igår hade vi en föreställning på vår lilla teater. Så det har varit ganska fullt ös. Men nu kommer vi ha lite... Vi har några shower kvar, men sen så åker vi till Chicago och New York så att spela där. Så då kommer det vara typ efter halva maj har vi inga föreställningar bokade, tror jag. Så det är slutet på terminen lite.
Okay. Nice. All right. It feels like it might be time to bring in the
fills?
The fills.
Let's do it.
For those of you that don't know, fills are fucking idiot losers. The ones that do not contribute.
De är inte patrons.
Financially.
Exakt. Så se till att säga till din Phil i din närhet att bli en lill.
Be a little listeners I love. Let's bring them in.
Det här är Teach Me Sweden. Det är en historie/comedy podcast där 2 komiker försöker lära varandra svensk historia. Den ena för att han är amerikan och den andra för att han inte lyssnade i skolan. Och den senare är jag, Erik Broström.
And I'm Jonathan Rollins. And in this episode, I'll be teaching Erik about a little bit of facts from history. Of how some people are just better than others.
Och en gedigen insikt i hur man tänkt att vetenskap funkade för ett tag sedan.
You gotta go around, ask questions, and we learn about Swedes, Finns, and Sami.
Yeah!
Yes, the best.
Samerna är bäst. Jag har varit tillsammans med någon som var från samiska folket, eller på att säga. Ja, men hon var finsk same faktiskt.
Nice.
Precis som i den här storyn.
Yes.
Och det är hon som dyker upp i storyn. Nej, det är det inte.
But stay tuned.
Yes. Deutsche reaction.
Deutsche. I love the yes and in you.
Yeah, it's in my bones.
You go with whatever it is, even though you're like, that was stupid, but let's do it.
Yeah, it's a professional
man.
Säger man yrkesskada. I appreciate you appreciating it. Thank you.
See, you just yes ended my compliment.
God damn it! That's what everyone's supposed to do. You have to yes and a compliment. Herregud. Oh
man. Shit. Those of you that don't know what this is, we're two comedians and friends.
Yes,
and we are trying to learn about Swedish history. We don't know shit.
Aye.
So each episode, one of us brings a story for our colleague. About Swedish history, and then we talk about it and make some fun out of it.
Och det gläder mig att det är du som har historien idag, för det betyder att jag kan luta mig tillbaka och försöka se det roliga i den svenska historien.
Yes, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
This one,
it's dark.
It might be.
Okay.
Herman Lundborg.
Herman Lundborg, okay.
Was born in April 7th, 1868. In Vasa Parish in Värmland County.
Okej, i Vasa Parish. Ja.
Vasa.
Vasa med ä.
Vasa.
Vasa. Okay. Never heard of.
Okay. In Värmland. You've heard of Värmland.
Never heard of.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
You've heard of you do know there's a invention called television, and on it they show shows.
Yeah.
He was the son of Herman Emanuel Lundborg.
Okay.
Creative.
Yeah.
Very. Who was a chief engineer at the state railways, and his mother was a woman.
Yes, as they always are in Swedish history.
He had 7 siblings, and the family moved around frequently because Herman Sr. worked on the railways.
Vad jobbade han, jobbade han som tågförare? Nej.
Kind of a chief engineer.
Yeah, okay.
So like he's, I guess, planning and stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds like kind of a big shot.
Det låter som ett bra jobb. Om man gillar tåg.
I tried to do something like that when I moved here. So they were ready to hire me, but I would have had to move to Norrland.
Vadå? Höll du på att bli tågingenjör?
I was gonna... It was like some logistics planning for the trains.
Oh, really?
For the rail system or something.
Oof.
Yeah, and they were like ready to hire me. And then he was like, can you move to Norrland? And I was like, click. No thanks. That'll be a no.
Is the sun up in winter? No. Click.
Exactly. Herman, he married twice throughout his life. His first marriage resulted in 2 sons. The second was to a Finnish and Sami woman. Ooh. And they had a son together as well.
Okay.
And that's it. Thank you.
That was a short episode. Thank you for checking this.
No. I said that because it feels like I rounded off his thing, but you'll see.
Okay.
He took an interest in the medical field. More specifically, he was interested in medical research. He got educated, and he began conducting studies on a variety of things, and he made some great discoveries regarding myclonus epilepsy, which is one of the type of epileptic seizures people can have. And he was awarded prizes from the Swedish Academy for his findings, the Academy of Sciences and the Swedish Medical Association. They were really grateful for his work. He conducted a groundbreaking research project called Listerundersökningen, which was the first of its kind, where he combined a medical study with genealogical research.
Okay.
He described in this investigation a recessive inherited disease, which he believed to be a progressive degenerative disease, like through generations, and that the occurrence of cousin marriage in Listerlandet in Blekinge have resulted in a high incidence. So it's like,
wow, så att om du är nära släkt så är det mer större risk att du får den sjukdomen.
Yeah, this
var det epilepsi eller var det
this version of epilepsy.
Okay.
And this survey opened the door for future surveys on the matter and eventually led to the end of cousin marriage in Sweden.
Wow! På grund av hans research.
Yeah, because you're not allowed. It's like, all right.
Shit.
Fucking your cousins.
Men vi vill ju ta risken. Jag älskar min släkt jättemycket.
I think it might be because like in the business world here, nepotism is a big thing.
What is nepotism?
It's like when you give somebody the job
för att de är
family or a close friend or whatever.
Ja.
Maybe that was the relationship thing too. It's like,
lättare att driva business bara.
I trust you.
I trust you.
I know your granddad.
Yeah.
Because it's my granddad. Let's make a baby.
Oh my God.
It's shaking. No, I'm just, all right, that was wrong.
So weird. Oh my God.
Let's make a shaken baby together.
A shake and bake baby. That's what cousins do.
That's what cousins do. The disease was in Finland and Estonia as well.
Okay.
I guess that cousin fucking wasn't the only thing. Was only a thing in Sweden, but whatever.
Men var det bara i Sverige, Finland och...
No, I'm saying that's where they were finding these...
Yeah, det var det. Okay.
So now he turned into kind of a big deal in the medical research community. Got his statuses.
Yeah. Awards and prizes and shit.
Then in 1922, a government-funded group embarked on a journey of discovery that will be held in a new place called Statens Institut för rasbiologi.
Åh, nej! Det här var en rolig överraskning. Wow.
Okay, I get it right. Okay, I wanted to double check his birth year, but it was right.
Okay.
Because I had written 1968. I was like, what, motherfuckers? But it was 1868.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I heard at the beginning.
Yeah, 1868. Their goal was to obtain a scientific basis for racial hygiene measures.
Okay.
Seems innocent.
Yeah, but with the hygiene measurements, but the racial before is a little bit dodgy.
We gotta get the racial hygiene measurements. You know, what's the problem? What's the problem? They say it real fast.
Yeah,
for racial hygiene. Excuse me, what was that first part? Racial hygiene measurement. Racial hygiene measurement.
Are you saying ratio? Sure.
Whatever.
Sure,
Let's just find out why the blacks are bad.
Focus on the hygiene.
Yeah, focus on the hygiene and the measurement. Focus a little more on measurement than hygiene. Less on measurement.
You heard me say measurement, right? What could be more important than that?
I'll think of something in there. The institution would be in Uppsala.
Yeah.
And it would include Uppsala's professor of racial biology and 8 members, 2 of whom were appointed by the King Magistriate. It's called the Royal Court or whatever, decision makers. 2 from the Greater Academic Consistory in Uppsala. 2 from the one in Lund, and 1 from Karolinska Institute's Teachers College, and 1 from the Faculty of Agriculture's Teaching Council. So basically, they're getting some real people on this board to figure out what's wrong with the N-words.
Som verkligen, de fastnade på racial direkt och bara
from Lund. According to the Institute's Royal Charter, this task was to conduct scientific research in the field of racial biology with specific regard to the Swedish people and the conditions within Sweden.
Okay.
So we got to figure out what's good for our blood.
Yeah.
It's also a responsibility of the Institute to announce the teaching in racial biology, spread the knowledge to the country so people know what is right.
This is up. This is what is.
A Riksdag proposal on the establishment of the Institute was approved in 1921.
Yeah.
And all parties in the Riksdag were behind the decision.
Det är där vi har allmän rösträtt. Så vi går åt det hållet, åt ena hållet, och sen bara but not the blackies.
Exactly.
Wow.
They're split on the other stuff.
Oh
but,
my God.
As far as finding out what makes Swedes pure.
Shit.
Our buddy Herman Lundborg became its first director
Wow.
of this institute. Because he did the cousin fucking project.
Yeah.
So then he must be the perfect person to talk about race and biology.
Eller hur?
And what is now known as eugenics.
Yeah. Men för den tiden och för den inställningen som de här ganska rasistiska människorna hade, så låter det ju rimligt att så här, men han kan det här med gener, han har listat ut det här med kusiner. Det är rimligt att han kan tillföra något här. Han borde leda det.
Yep.
Man förstår ju på ett sjukt sätt hur de tänkte. Liksom ändå. Men,
Yep.
Jesus.
Lundborg stated that Sweden was the first cultural state in the world to establish a racial biology institute. He just said that.
Han visste inte om det var sant. Vi är först. Jag är först. Ja, herregud.
But England, Norway, the US, and Russia all had racial biology institutes as early as 1905.
Försökte de driva igenom samma tes? Alltså hade de samma agenda? Det vill säga ganska rasistisk.
I don't know.
No.
I didn't look at the other ones. But it seems like it's something that could sound like a research project.
Yeah.
But this being government funded was the thing that kind of set it apart.
Yeah, okay.
But
yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
And at first there was a lot of support from the Swedish community. Swedes love a good research project.
Yeah, of course.
They all like to dig in.
Yeah.
So what could go wrong?
Nej, inget. Nej. Det här är forskning som kommer stå tidens tand. It's gonna be great.
Do you feel embarrassed for Sweden? You have a look like you might be a little embarrassed.
No, but I guess, men jag vet inte, jag är inte någon så här superpatriot åt det hållet. Men jag tror att alla skäms för sitt land om man börjar gräva i sådana här saker. Så måste det ju vara.
Yeah.
Det är inte som om du inte är så här jävligt skön nazist så skäms du ju för Hitler om du är i Tyskland.
Yeah.
Alltså det är ingenting man bara säger, just det, Hitler, yay! Så det finns alltid någonting att skämmas för överallt. Men svenskar är ganska bra på att slå på sig själva, så att förödmjuka oss blir ju bara att vi yes-andare och förödmjukar oss själva också. Vi är ganska, eller i alla fall sådana som är som jag i Sverige.
All right.
Men jag kan känna en liten skam utan att du gör något. Det är bara ös på.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Herman took the same approach to racial hygiene as they're calling it, as he did with his renowned cousin fucking research.
Yeah,
which is what I'm calling it.
It is what it should be called.
He said that the pattern was not only unique to Listerlandet, but to the entire country, which could suffer if marriage patterns, reproduction, immigration, and the individual are not controlled.
Wow.
Sounds like a political talking point.
Yeah.
This could get out of hand.
Yeah. Vi måste kontrollera allt det här.
Yeah, man.
Herregud.
His goal was to strengthen the Swedish genetics by getting out the contributors that can weaken it, which could be mental illness, mental retardation, and physical handicaps. And they were bundled in with supposed inferior human traits such as racial background and seen as things that would weaken the Swedish bloodline.
Mixed race.
Yeah.
Men okej, vänta nu. Så han upptäcker att nära gener skapar sjukdomar.
Yeah.
Och hans tes är att avlägsna gener också är farligt.
Yeah.
Det är väldigt konstigt resonemang.
Good point.
Det är fan...
good point right away too. I didn't even think of that.
That's, alla vet att sprida generna är jättebra för förutsättningen att skapa bra avkomma.
Even like sicknesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Sweden, I'm guessing. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sweden had a strong tradition in this area, by the way. Linnaeus, I guess is a person, had already in 1735 divided the human species into 4 varieties.
Linné, eller?
Linnaeus.
Okay.
Linnaeus.
Another guy, I guess.
But he had divided the human species into 4 varieties according to the continents. Anders Retzius, 100 years later, introduced the so-called skull index.
Den har jag talas om.
It's mentioned in Django, for example.
Just det är därför jag kan den, ja. Herregud.
Science would benefit, and this was science, This is what they're saying.
Well, if they say so.
Which also promise financial gain because it creates a healthier nation.
Kontrollera vilka som får do the fucking. Okay, sure.
It empties the increasingly filled mental hospitals. And maybe even creates a moral restoration.
Wow. Well, alltså noble thought, men inte vägen dit.
Man, get this dirty blood out of here.
Wow.
The mapping of natural resources have proved to be a way. The crazy thing is, this is all just to say we're the best.
Of course.
It's such a...
Vilket är så konstigt.
Going so far like, no, we are the best. Let's prove it by...
Borde man inte vara lite orolig för vad man hittar? Det låter som att de har lite jävig inställning i sin research. Om de redan tänker att vi är den normen man borde föredra.
Exactly.
För om de skulle göra om de skulle göra riktig rasbiologisk, om de verkligen skulle undersöka det helt objektivt, så skulle de ju försöka hitta fel på sina egna gener snarare än att hitta fel på andra. Eller att kunna jämföra generna. Men they don't want to do that.
No. It's funnier to talk about how blacks are dumber. The mapping of natural resources have proved to be a way forward for industry. But what was more important than human material? Last but not least, one had to defend the Swedish tribe.
Okay.
Which was threatened both from within, both from without and from within.
Men just det är många Sverigedemokrater som säger något liknande. Att så här, värna om det svenska arvet och våra traditioner.
Race was an organizing concept. In short, the nation needed order and the strong guidance of experts with ideals on which everyone could agree. And that's the one thing I think is that reads true in a lot of stuff here. With like consensus, everybody wants to know, like, what are the fucking rules?
Yeah.
A hygiene police who cleaned up an old drab society was also needed by humanity.
A racial hygiene police.
Hygiene police.
Vad betyder det att man ser typ ett par mixed race på gatan och bara
Hey! Yo, you! It's a fine.
That's a fine.
It's a fine of 1,000 crowns. You're dating this Gambian guy.
And get out of here. And don't hold hands.
Ew. The word hygiene was the buzzword of the time.
Okay.
It was like bling bling in early 2000. No.
Ja, de gillade det.
They talked about personal hygiene, also about mental hygiene and food hygiene. Eugenics could be reconciled with the general ideology of progress, nationalism, and history.
Okay.
And the answers to how bad things could get were missing, of course, because they don't.
De har ingen aning. De bara gissar ju.
The Eugenics Institute didn't have very much money because they weren't. The government was in at first, and then they got out pretty quickly.
De fick mindre och mindre.
Yeah. So now the treasury was poor, and it came to suffer from a constant lack of resources, as well as a lack of confidence. Lundborg was a poor diplomatic and institutional leader, probably because he was racist.
Yeah. Men var han det från början, eller var det när pengarna började sina? Som han bara didn't give a shit? Eller var han alltid lite inkompetent?
I mean, I feel like trying to prove this thing, I don't know, maybe I'm just so, I can't think like that.
Yeah,
so
I
can't understand how somebody can like pitch it.
Yeah.
Like if I think of like trying to get a TV show made, it's like, it doesn't.
Nej, men det är klart, men på den tiden så tyckte väl många som honom. Det var ju väldigt mycket, fanns ju ett utbrett judiskt hat även i Sverige innan andra världskriget. Så att det var nog inte så jättesvårt att få medhåll, men däremot så det går inte att bevisa, så det måste ju varit att han försökte bevisa något som inte gick att bevisa, som var det som...
Exactly. Because there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing, they're not showing what's the bad part. Half a dozen employees would get paid. The rest are just like...
What?
Yeah. Along with the director they got paid along with the director to drive around in communities and measure Swedish characteristics, photograph them, fill in cards, make charts and draw conclusions.
Okej. En sak som är väldigt bra som svenskar gör är att de hoppar runt en stånk på midsommar och sjunger små grodor. That's good.
Yes.
This
seems to be the ultimate, the peak of the human race would be if you can hop around in the fashion of a frog.
Det verkar också, så i samband med det så har vi uppmärkt att svenskar inte klarar av alkohol. De dricker för mycket sprit. That's good. De behöver en institution för att kontrollera spritförsäljningen.
At certain times of the year, 80% of them have runny eyes and sneeze a lot because allergies are fucking them up horribly. That's the supreme race right there. Like,
alla ovanför Uppsala har en tendens att vilja ta livet av sig på vintern. That's good.
These are great characteristics. Send it in. These efforts were not enough.
Yeah.
The result was some striking folio publications of the Swedish people as a whole and of the Sami. So they did.
Oh.
And that's why I mentioned that he was married to the Sami person, because he probably.
Men tyckte de att samer också var som svenskar? Att det var bra? Eller att de...
That was just some of the people that they got information on.
Okay.
As they're trying to get information and gather what the supreme people were.
Okay.
But not like they're looking at other people.
No. Just...
Which is weird. He wandered away to the mountains of Lapland.
Okay.
And was for a long time too far away from day-to-day operations. So they're just like, how can we be effectively racist without our leader today?
Nej, jag vet inte vad man ska säga.
I don't know where to go.
De vet inte vad de ska skämta om för nationalitet för dagen.
And then they had this thing they created, the racial characters of the Swedish nation. It's a publication they made.
Och vad var det? The racial characters.
I didn't get the information, but that was like a work that they came up with. The racial characteristics of the Swedish nation.
I would love to read that.
But nobody knows why they made this thing. It's not like but they were trying to gather information. And then tensions within the workforce and the people at the top, like it was a bad environment.
Yeah.
And instead of the initial more or less explicit promises of saving the nation, it became a fiasco.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on? And the results were non-existent, incomplete, or unusable because it is fucking bullshit in the first place.
Shit.
So now they were saying they might have to shut it down, this institute.
Men varför var han... Jag vill inte att det ska gå bra här, men han hade ju massa tillvägagångssätt att lista ut det där med kusinerna.
Mm.
Varför använde han inga sådana grejer? Varför åkte han runt och kollade på svenska? Det känns som att han så här, om han var så duktig på att kunna se de där kopplingarna, då borde han väl på något sätt kunna försöka använda samma teknik till att göra den här undersökningen, och då skulle han förmodligen säga att det var fel. Men det var ju inte det han gjorde. Han bara åkte runt och bara, 7 characteristics. Det är konstigt att han
I think the other one was more from a medical standpoint. And this one is like confirmation bias.
Ja, precis. Men han måste ju kunna skillnaden på det, även om han är rasist. Han borde ju ändå förstå att det är biased och att det här andra var ganska legitimt.
Like, we're the perfect people. Here's what the perfect people look like.
Sure, of course.
Which is not a medical research.
Yeah. So jag fattar det. Det är bara så segt att en vetenskapsman inte använder vetenskap bara för att de tror sig veta något.
But then if they try to, then this happens.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna...
En bra vetenskapsman ska ju försöka att motbevisa tesen. Det är det som är vetenskap.
Yeah.
Du tror någonting och så försöker du motbevisa det tills det inte går längre. Och då kommer du så nära sanningen så att du kan kalla det en teori. Och det är det högsta du kan ha i vetenskapen.
Or which sounds horrible, go other places and find stuff that you don't like about it. These people, and put that in your research. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I went here. They're poor. They don't hop around a midsummer storm.
They don't seem to have any fun.
Exactly. So they're not alcoholics. Look at them. This is what, you know what I mean? Maybe try to have. You can't just stay here. I don't get the point of it.
Nej, det är jättekonstigt. Slarvigt.
So he retired in 1935, and everything is kind of in shambles. This program. But one policy, also they said that he got all of this praise for this cousin fucking thing, but that it was other research that came about that like kind of did more about it for it than him. So he's getting praise really early, and it's just like, oh wait, he didn't get something that was really, his technique wasn't the most sound. Anyway, even with that.
Han åkte bara till ett par kusiner som han kände som var gifta som hade barn, och det där barnet var lite slow. Och han bara, see?
But one policy that came about under his watch, sterilization.
Härligt.
In the 1930s, a law was passed that allowed mass sterilization.
Av vilka?
The stated rationale besides behind the legislation was to prevent sterilization from becoming a contraceptive method in the hands of the individual. So we'll do it as the government.
Ja, gud vad bra. För att, vad skönt. Så slipper de göra det själva mot sig själva. För det gör man ju.
And this opened the door for sterilization to go on rampantly into the 1940s and even as late as 2013 as part of gender reassignment surgery.
So ja, det visste jag.
Until 2013, if you want to get a sex change, then you had to agree to. And then the thing about sterilization was that they didn't want to call it forced sterilization.
Yeah.
But they would do like a quid pro quo type of thing.
Yeah.
So like, hey, we're going to lock you in this asylum. However, if you sterilize yourself, you can get out.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the way they were doing it. So I'm going to read you some statistics here.
Yeah.
They found that 15,000 sterilizations were made as a condition of release for people that were locked up. And another 5,500 to 6,000 were made under other kinds of pressure, whereas 30,000 were marked as voluntary sterilizations. On the applicant's own initiative, is what they said.
Shit.
So they're saying 30,000 people came to them and said, I don't want to have children.
Yeah.
And sterilized themselves.
Men först skrev de in sig själva frivilligt på en asylum. Tills de kom på att de... Gud vad dumt.
Yeah, so in a lot of people were sterilized.
Vilka människor var det de targeted?
It was partially on eugenic, so basically the perfect white folks. Medical and social grounds. So that's between 1906 and 1975.
Men hur gjorde de det the rational? Alltså hur kunde de så här, du ser inte riktigt svensk ut. Come into the asylum. Alltså blev de insatta på ett sinnessjukhus för att de inte var tillräckligt vita?
No, I don't think that's it. But I think the mental illness was like the catalyst for sterilization. So
right,
mentally ill, and you're, I don't know, non-Swedish.
Okay,
then the chances of you getting sterilized are increased greatly.
Okay. Ugh.
Yeah, and eugenic allowed sterilizing people considered insane or with severe illness or with a physical disability, so that these traits don't get passed on to future generations. The social is allowed sterilizing people deemed unsuitable to foster a child due to mental illness, being feeble-minded, which seems kind of broad, or having an antisocial lifestyle.
Man inte gör som staten vill. Fy fan. Så att typ, vad är det? Gay?
Alltså, or like a criminal.
Yeah.
If you aggressive, like doing physical attacks and stuff, lying and being manipulative. So politicians.
Shit. Eller hur?
And medical too. If a pregnancy could pose a risk of to life or good health of a woman with chronic illness or permanently weakened constitution.
Holy shit.
All of that was for a long time.
Crazy.
Thanks to this guy, Herman, our hero.
Shout out to Herman.
But then he, like I said, he stepped down.
Yeah.
And enter Gunnar Dahlberg.
Han har jag faktiskt hört talas om. På något sätt har jag läst förbi det här lite. Okay. I någon annan story. Jag har inte tagit upp det. Men någonstans har jag liksom snuddat lite vid Rasbiologiska institutet. Okay. Men jag har ingen koll på dem. Jag bara känner igen Dahlberg-namnet.
Yeah, he took over the institute after Herman Lundborg. Word gotten out about how Sweden was pretty kind of racist.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up. Maybe not racist is not the term, but kind of fucked up.
Fucked up, yeah.
With their it seems like human rights violations a little
Verkligen.
bit. Lundborg's findings were being used as rhetoric by Nazis and Russians.
Of course.
Sweden had been known as a socialist welfare state, and now the worldview is like, they're pretty radical. And what's with all these sterilizations and stuff? And now the view of Sweden is like changing. But Dahlberg rejected the concept of race in a variety of technology-oriented essays.
Okay.
So he didn't even like the concept of race.
Alltså, var det åt det hållet att han tänkte att de inte ens är människor? Eller?
No, not even that, but he just thought our volume's been really low the whole time.
Oh, we can just adjust it later.
But he thought that categorizing people as races is wrong.
Yeah.
Like we're all a human race, that's it.
Okay, yeah. Det lät ju fint.
Yeah, sounds really nice.
Ja.
And he wasn't as good at documenting things as Lundborg, who's like a good researcher. So like his findings was like, hey Dahlberg, where's that?
Yeah. Han var ganska chill som en hippie typ.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're all humans,
right, yeah.
man.
Exactly.
Where's the report? Oh man, you know what? Somewhere, man.
You work at the Genealogy Institute, right?
I might have smoked it. I didn't have any papers. I don't know.
Yeah, he's that type. So he didn't have as much documentation, but there were footnotes that they could use.
Okay.
It just said, "Oh, cool, bro,"
på en servett. It's just really cool.
But then there was Bertil Lundman, who was associate professor of eugenics in Uppsala. People started ridiculing him because he had peculiar opinions for his university troubling course literature, and Dahlberg was like speaking out against that as well. So he's really trying to keep this he was trying to take a more scientific approach instead of social, the way that Lundborg was trying to use it.
Okay.
And he's like really trying to see what people are, man. What are people made of, man?
Hey man, you want a joint?
At the turn of the 1900s, eugenics methodology answered to scientific criteria. It devoted itself largely to numerical fetishism. So people are like basically trying to confirmation by use the numbers to say what they want to say.
Okay.
And they had different ways of measuring, and it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to sound biased, but the decision makers did not understand that much, and the only thing you could do was just nod.
Okay. Låt dem hålla på, typ.
Yeah. The question of we talked about sterilization. We went through those numbers.
Yeah.
There was abuse of power against the weak in society as far as sterilization was concerned. The unwanted, the prison inmates were getting sterilized as well.
All right. Var det inte också? Jo, men de i fängelset. Men jag tänkte idioterna på Vipeholm.
Yep, that too.
Yeah.
That was under his time too.
Yeah.
Of the people who were sterilized, 90% were women. Despite the fact that it's harder to sterilize a woman than it is a guy. But yeah.
But still,
it's more dangerous. Yeah. But you know how we do to women. Yeah, but they never wanted it to be called forced sterilization.
Nej.
That was something that they focused on.
Det låter ju inget bra.
And the law never allowed coercion either. And,
okay, nice.
And if there's any intervention, it's voluntary, is what they said. But we all know what it is, man.
Yeah.
They're saying that they won't go so far as to call the sterilization policy racist, because it wasn't just
för det hade inte bara med det att göra.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the sterilization was really just it was supremacist, is what I would call it.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to create create a supreme race.
Create an Übermensch. It's not that different from Adolf Hitler.
Not at all. They're just doing it in a nerdy way.
Yeah.
The policy of sterilization shows racial biology as total science and plays on the keyboard of statistics, genetics, medicine, and various social sciences. The quote-unquote expert is a necessary figure that one must both trust and question. A god in a room that is too often lacking transparent windows and doors for access. I like that. Sounds kind of poetic.
Yeah.
What was the last thing? Dahlberg taking over the institute changed the focus of the research, but the damage that Lundborg did lasted for decades and stained Sweden's image internationally. Dahlberg, I guess to make up for it, was showered with awards and prizes for his new take on genetics and research. And this was perhaps to get rid of the Western world, to get the rest of the Western world back on Sweden's side.
Men han gjorde inget åt namnet. It was still the Racial Biological Institute.
Yeah, I think it was institutet, yes, för rasbiologi.
För om jag ändå inte tror på raser, då är namnet ganska bra att ändra.
I don't know if he could have changed that though.
Oh, maybe not, yeah.
Bring it to the board.
Yeah.
Can we vote again on the...
Yeah.
No, man!
Vi gillar att det heter ras. Nu heter det ras. Vi sa ju att det skulle heta det.
Hey man, there's no such thing as race, man. We're a human race, man. Can we call it the Human Institute? The Human Institute for Humans, man.
Men vi röstade ju på det här, Dahlberg. Du var inte här. I'm no man.
I was late, bro.
Yeah. The Dead were playing.
If there's no race, there's no time, man. Are you have a watch on, bro?
That's kind of aggressive.
But in the end, it was accomplishment. Sweden was once again later on considered, even though they were still sterilizing up until 2013, they were still considered a overall tolerant society with overt racism not being seen as a large issue here. As you know, it's not seen as that.
No.
But never forget the institute that fueled a lot of the bigotry in Europe.
Men sterilisera lite går ju bra. Bara lite grann, bara lite.
I'm about to go try to get a vasectomy myself.
Oh, so, yeah. Voluntary.
Shout out to the non-future.
Yes.
But yeah, that was the story of eugenics in Sweden.
Awesome, man.
According to Jonathan Rollins.
Fan, nice. Jag fick lära mig lite av det där. Jag har varit lite sugen på den där faktiskt. Jag är glad att du tog den.
Oh, really?
Ja, men jag tänkte så här, det här är en viktig stor del, men det har aldrig kommit liksom naturligt när jag tittar på det lite. Men det var intressant att höra att det var sån skillnad på de två direktörerna också.
That was the thing. That's what I started with him, and then it helped me put a story together.
That's cool, man.
The two guys.
I like that story. Tack så mycket.
Thank you, and thank you all for listening. Those of you that are not Patreon subscribers, you can help us out. Go to patreon.com/teachmesweden and give us a little as 10 crowns a month to get video versions of this and ad-free episodes, and most importantly, just pitch in.
Och kommer det mer och mer Patreon så kommer man få mer och mer på Patreon också.
Yeah.
So bring a friend.
Exactly.
Det är det.
And if money's tight, you know, inflation is real. If money's tight, then you can leave a review, a 5-star review, and say some good stuff about us.
Och om det är så här, jag hatar att betygsätta saker och jag har inga pengar. Vet du vad du kan göra? Skicka in din story som du vill ha från... inte din story, vi vill inte veta något om dig. Det måste ha varit någon som är känd. Eller något sånt. Men jag menar, en del från svenska historien så skriver du på engelska till teachmesweden@gmail.com ifall du vill att Jonathan ska ta historien. Skriv till svenska om du vill att jag ska ta den.
Yes.
That's the best thing to do.
And if you don't want to be a patron and you don't want to leave a review and you don't want to email us a story, then go get sterilized. Because we don't need people like you in the future.
Yeah. Och jag menar, there's always an option. It's voluntary. But it's the only option.
It's the only option.
Om du inte vill göra något av de där 3 grejerna, just fucking do it. Så är det.
Well, thanks for checking it out, man. It's been Jonathan Rollins
och Erik Broström
teaching you Sweden. Peace.
Fred!